Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my hope that every agency head and every CIO of these agencies are listening or watching or will read the testimony after this event, and that the first thing they do when they wake up tomorrow is pull out the GAO high-risk report that identifies, areas that they have problems with. They read their own IG report and start working to address those remediations. I've been at this job for 21 weeks, similar to Mr. Scott, and one of the things you hear from people, they're frustrated with their government. One, intentions are great. Mrs. Archuleta, you said that at the beginning that security of federal employees' data is paramount, and that's why, and that the data is paramount. I believe you believe that, right? But the execution has been horrific, right? Intentions are not enough. We have to have execution, and this is the thing that scares me. So my question, and let's start with you, Mrs. Archuleta, was, did the hackers use a zero-day vulnerability to get into your network?
I think that would be better answered in a classified setting.
Well, if it was a zero-day vulnerability, I hope everybody has been notified of this zero-day, not only the government, but the private sector. We shouldn't be keeping secret a zero-day vulnerability. I know a little bit something about protecting secrets. I spent, almost my adult life in the CIA doing that. This is something that we need to get out. And if we haven't, because what I've read is that Einstein did detect the breach after the appropriate indicators of compromise was loaded into it. So my question is, how long did the federal government, did somebody have access to these indicators of compromise, and why did it take however much that time to get it into Einstein's system? And has that been promoted to every other agency that's using Einstein too?
Representative, OPM, once they implemented their security measure and discovered this breach, gave us the indicators of compromise immediately, and we loaded it into Einstein immediately. That is, we loaded it into Einstein 2 to both detect, and we looked back through history to see if any other traffic back in time had indicated a similar compromise. That is how we found an intrusion into OPM related to this incident that led to our discovery of the breach of the personal records. We also put into Einstein 3 so that agencies covered by Einstein 3 would be protected against a similar activity moving forward. And then we held a call with all the federal CIOs and disseminated these indicators to them and asked them to search their networks for these.
Has that been done?
That has been done.
Okay. So, Mrs. Seymour, you talk about legacy systems and the difficulty of protecting those. What are some of those legacy systems? And what programming software is used to develop those systems?
These are systems, sir, that have been around for going close to 25, 30 years. They are
So it was written by COBOL?
COBOL systems. One of the things I would like to offer is that, Director Archuleta and I actually were brought here to solve some of these problems.
Right.
These
When did you start your job?
Decades. In December of 2013,
And why did we wait to implement two-factor authentication until after this hack?
We have not waited, sir. These are
So two-factor authentication was being deployed prior?
These are 2 decades in the making. We're not going to solve them all in 2 years. And if we continue
that's where I disagree with you, okay? Because, again, we got to stop thinking about this, that we have years to solve the problem. We don't. We should be thinking about this in days. Mrs. Archuleta, how much overtime have you signed off on since this hack of people that are dealing with the compromise?
My CIO team works 24/7.
Right. So if I walk into your building at 8 p.m. at night, there's going to be people drinking Red Bull, working furiously in order to solve this problem.
I'm very proud of the employees that are working on this issue, and they have been working 24/7.
Mr. Scott, you've inherited a mess, my man. And we're looking for you, and whatever this committee can do to help you to ensure things like this doesn't happen, to ensure that these agencies and the CIOs of the agencies are implementing the recommendations of the IG, the recommendations of the GAO. We're here to do that, and we're to continue to drag people up here and answer these questions, because that's our responsibility. And we have to say, I recognize that you're not going to stop anybody from penetrating your network, but how quickly can you identify them? Can you quarantine them, and can you kick them off the network? Those are the 3 metrics we should be using about the health of our systems, and we're woefully inadequate. I yield back the time I did not have. Thank you, sir.